Yes, it is.
You
Yes,
aggravate me
yes, yes.
every day.
Yeah. In some way, I attempt to, and I'm glad to
Why?
know that mission is certainly accomplished. After having to ride in to work with the wifey, get out, slam the door,
So,
call her a few explicitives as you put it, and she called me a few. Then I
whatever,
can come in and just
whatever,
exhale when I get here.
whatever. First of all, whatever reason you slamming the door for, it's your own fault. Let's be clear about
It's
that.
always my fault.
It's
Let you tell
always
it.
your fault. She didn't do nothing. Good morning, Long Johns. How you doing this morning? You straight? You all right? Mm. Carmen tried to get at me yesterday.
I was listening.
I mean, so ride out Jermaine is all,
He's my one wing, not two wing, one wing. I need one wing to fly away.
He's all injured and everything. Walking
And
around.
I wanted to say to you, I thought about that this morning. I was like, wow, she does have a compassionate side.
Like, first of all, to you and Carvey, because both of y'all gonna get clowned.
No,
Everybody knows I have a compassionate side.
I was thinking this
So
morning.
what
Michelle,
do you say?
Michelle, I was thinking this morning. I says we should just go ahead and do a full-fledged clinic around here.
No, we should.
No, well, the ladies from Ascension was popping shots around here. They was giving people shots.
Popping
And
shots.
they pop Keith, they pop Jackie this week in studio.
Popping shots.
And then I saw
that
you
did sound right.
being a masseuse and a chiropractor, whatever you was doing with him, and you went out and got him a sling, and I was like, man,
because it was getting on my nerves.
Whining with it.
So for folks that are like, what are y'all talking about? Jermaine Rideout, who is, y'all know Jermaine, who is here to station.
I thought I knew him, but
I know, because he talk real strong, don't he? He talk real tough.
When I was 17, I thought I wasn't gonna be here.
If we need to set it off, just give me a call.
Jermaine.
Just call me. It's just one call. That's all.
Right.
That's how he. That's how he talk.
Right.
But he went to the gym, hurt his little shoulder, and Lord have mercy.
He got us walking around holding his arm in place. So Michelle said enough of that. She would have got him a slang.
Like, hey, bro, ain't nobody got time to be holding your arm up. So let's just take Remy this.
Yeah,
Remy
this.
this.
Go out and get medicine.
Go get him a sling.
The judge that stopped by.
Everybody had to help him out.
Yeah, the judge brought some outdated medicine by here for Carvey. We got a little clinic going on.
I'm just saying. It just speaks to what I say all the time. When men get sick or something wrong, y'all the biggest babies in the world.
Yeah, I've seen it this week with Mano.
Oh, see it with yourself. With your little sniffles and your tissue and looking like Tito Jackson. I mean, y'all are ridiculous, Carvey. Which is how this whole conversation started this morning.
Is there any clinics around here?
Because Carvey been, stopped up, congested. So I gotta get some tea. I need some tea. Should I be drinking black or green? And then is it a probiotic? And I'm like, what are y'all doing, man? Get some medicine. So I told Carvey I would bring him some Clarity D. I would bring him some medicine.
Did you bring?
I forgot yesterday. No, I didn't forget. I brought Benadryl by mistake.
So I was like, the same, aren't they?
I like Clarity D better.
Okay.
So Carvey, I said, look, he holding him up. He get on my nerve. So when Jermaine went on the radio yesterday to thank me for, going to get a sling and looking out, Mr. Young Hater Nation over here says,
been hanging out with
yeah, you didn't get my shit, take care of me. I got to push back on that. She didn't do nothing over here. And I was looking at him like, are you serious right now?
He's a brat.
I mean, no, he's a man. He is, bros are, and I know sisters that's listening will all co-sign for what I'm saying.
That's not true. I'm not.
Now, y'all put off going to the doctor. Yes, it's okay. I can take it. But the minute that real whatever kick in, that little pain or that, Man, y'all turned into the biggest babies
And it's
I
why we
have
have
ever seen.
it's why we have the most respect for you all as women.
No, y'all don't. No, y'all
To
don't.
be able to
Y'all
bore,
talk crazy.
to bear a child and birth a child,
Yeah,
bones
clean
moving
it
and
up.
separating.
Clean it
And all
up.
we
No, y'all
die.
don't.
We would die.
Yeah, I know
Just
y'all
literally
would
die.
die from a cold.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
telling
I'm
you,
just saying that.
Jermaine was so funny yesterday, and he had to be massaged. Can you just get right there and right on the bone?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this dude like, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
It's been bad around here.
So, you know,
Ooh.
Keith come in with his nose running all the time.
Yeah.
You got to go get him Kleenex. He won't even go get his own
Yeah,
Kleenex.
speaking of which, put that box of Kleenex up on the counter.
I think even Carvey be like, look, dog, get some Kleenex, man. I just have never seen. I just, but again, I know I'm not alone, that there are women all over the city and in the country that's listening that are co-signing like, she right.
And I agree. I'm not bittering to differ with you at all.
Well, okay.
I'm not. We are the biggest babies.
Thank
because
you.
we have to be so strong all the time.
Oh Lord, here we
that
go.
When we fall
Somebody
down,
said my husband is the worst, and worst is all capitalized.
He ain't got me beat.
With 2-3 exclamation points
He does
behind
not
it.
have me
She
beat.
said my husband is the worst.
Yeah, Jack will tell you.
Somebody else said, "Oh no, oh no."
No, he ain't.
I love it. I love it. Well, let me say good morning in spite of the harassment this morning from you. What's happening, bro? How you feeling this morning?
I am great, man. I would certainly be an ingrate if I didn't thank the Lord for another day above ground. Like the funeral director say, I'm still riding up front.
I'm still riding up front.
Yeah, if he in the back, it's over.
Well, this is true. This is true. I see you got your Brewers hat on. Is this about cheering on the team? What you doing?
Well, they clinched yesterday. National League Central Division.
I'm looking.
Yeah, so this is the second year in a row. We are certainly looking towards a pennant.
When are we going to get it done, man? It's been what, since 1982?
Well, it's, getting closer.
That's how I first came to Milwaukee.
In the right, really.
Like literally, even before I met my husband.
That was against the Cardinals, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. St. Louis. Yeah. Even before I met my husband, the first way I came to Wisconsin is I came to a Brewers game.
Wow.
Yeah.
You liked it so much you stayed?
No, not at all.
Okay, well, how'd you end up residing here?
Well, because my husband was working for Miller Brewing Company.
Oh, okay.
And so that's how I ended up coming. But the very first time I ever set foot in Wisconsin, it was literally to come to a game in the series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yep. Let's see. We got a caller. Let's see if they're calling in to co-sign for what I said. Good morning. Hey, caller. What's happening?
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
People. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Michelle, I just want to know what you think about. I listen to GMA when I get up in the morning while I'm getting dressed, and I had to stop in place to hear them say that once again this is Trump's world and we're just a bunch of squirrels. After the governor, I'm not sure if it was the governor or the mayor of Springfield, specifically said, I don't want anybody with a D, an R, or an I in politics coming to my city, coming to Springfield. This man announces that he is on his way to Springfield today to continue the rhetoric and all the lies about the Haitian people. And not to mention, to debunk all of that, the governor, a Republican governor of the Republican governor of Ohio, actually did a tour with the media around the to several different public schools where mostly Haitian children were students of, and praised the Haitian community about how much they are contributing to their economy and how great of citizens they are. So I just want to know your feedback about that. Thank you for taking my call.
No problem. Thank you. And I mean, I'm sure you already know. you know, I watched the segment with the governor of Ohio, who went to great lengths to try, and the mayor, to try to say, look, this is legal immigration. These people are making sure that basically businesses can stay open in the city, in our state. And the governor even said, I've talked to business owners who said my business would likely not be open if we didn't have this population of folks that have come in and been able to work and assist us here, because we don't have the manpower. They've talked about now that Haitian children have not been going to school because they've been scared. Parents have been fearful because of the school threats, the bomb threats. I think they said they had received at one count 33, most likely have received more since then. And so what they were saying is, because of all, and I talked about this, I think yesterday or the day before, what they were saying is that because of Trump and JD Vance's rhetoric, and JD Vance, who even goes on to say, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, but this was the intent of what he said, if I have to tell a lie to make a point, if I have to make up a story to make a point that we don't want immigrants in this country, that's what I'm going to do. He said it in an interview. And so the governor and the mayor, they say, look, every one of these threats we have to take seriously. We have had to sweep 17 schools in the Springfield city and surrounding communities to ensure the safety of these students and the faculty and the folks that go to this campus. We don't have that kind of manpower. We are not a large metropolitan city. So every bomb threat detracts from the service that we are providing in general to our citizens. And yes, it would be a further detriment if any candidate decided that they were going to come to Springfield. So we are asking people right now, while we are trying to get a handle on this, because we've now been thrown into the debate, we have now become the center of all of this negative energy. Give us a minute to get our house back in order. The visits would be an undue burden. They basically said all of that. And of course, ignoramus number one, who gives no care about all of the stuff that he claims that he does. He does not care about the people of Springfield, because if he did, he would respect what these people are asking him to do, which is not come at this time. But you're going to make a point. And the point that you're going to make is going to be what? What are you going to be? I mean, what you going to do? Get a damn dog catcher's uniform in a truck and drive through the city and look for, stray pets to keep them? I mean, like, what you going to do?
Push play on this one. I don't know if you've seen it.
Hold on one second. Let me see.
The people that a lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dog. People that came in.
Oh, the cat is hissing at Donald Trump.
Watch.
They're eating the pets of the people that.
What did the cat do? I didn't see it.
Launched at the TV.
Launched at the TV?
Jumped directly at
Yeah,
Trump.
because you can hear the growling.
People that came in, they're eating the cat.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And literally, this cat
Yeah.
jumped into the TV, to the TV screen
Right.
at Donald Trump when he was talking. Donald Trump was saying they're eating the dogs and the cats, and the cat, arches back, did the cat thing, started hissing, and then literally lunged at the television and hit the screen.
Yeah.
And fell to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was crazy. I had not seen that.
Yeah,
thank you for sharing. Yeah. So caller, I mean, I'm sure I feel the same way you do. And a lot of people who understand boundaries and respect, who understand process and rules and law of order. A lot of people who don't believe that they are above everybody and everything. He's disrespectful. All of this is you know, his form of privilege on display at the height of everything that's going on around us. Like, this dude is hell-bent and intent on always convincing us I'm not like y'all. You know, Kendrick Lamar talking about they not like us. He makes the point every day. No, y'all not like me. It's not about they not like us. Y'all not like me. And I'm going to be able to get away with everything I think I can. But I'm going to tell people, just hold on. This all you got to do is understand. Every dog has their day. And sometimes two. Donald Trump, when you're, and I hate to say it because I know it's some Puffy and some Sean Diddy Combs supporters, but it is just a matter of time before there is some degree of accountability for people who do crazy stuff. Donald Trump, while he may seem like he is escaping, he is not. He is not. On so many levels, he is a miserable little man. And why do I say that? Because one of the things that Donald Trump craves probably more than money is to be adored, to be embraced. And he's willing to force it on people and bully people to get that. He needs affirmation that he's somebody special and important. That's why I need a gold toilet, because he an idiot. And that's the one thing, like during the debate, when Kamala Harris said, yeah, your crowd size was some nonsense, or people left because they were sick of listening to you. Like, when I tell you that broke him probably more than anything she could have said to him. And then, you done filed bankruptcy 5 times. You not the businessman you out here perpetrating to be or purporting to be. Like, so we know, y'all. We know he never received acceptance from his dad. I mean, but his daddy never got acceptance because they, like people said, they were looked upon as white trash, quite frankly, who had just amassed some money through bootlegging and prostitution. That's how his people, and then ultimately you flip that money and now get into real estate. But I remember somebody here in Milwaukee telling me one time, there are a contingency of people that will never let you forget who you were. You came from this. I don't care what level you rise to, you're always going to be this. The thing about him that compounds that is that he's an awful acting person. He's a selfish, corrupt, morally bankrupt person. So even if you were a good and decent person who came from a scandalous family background, you potentially could overcome it. But your people was raggedy, and then you raggedy. So, yeah, I think what you think. That he's an obnoxious buffoon who does not care about any of these issues that he speaks about every day. Not for real. You don't care about the folks of Springfield. And when somebody tells your special behind that this is legal immigration, the same kind that your wife used to get in this country, the same kind that your wife's mama and daddy used to be in this country. Although theirs was, like chain migration, or that's not the word. I need to remember the word. When I come and I can bring my parents over. But that same immigration. And here, the two candidates in J.D. Vance and Donald Trump who have wives that are immigrants, it's just hilarious. It's hilarious. I gotta go to break. I'll be right back.
To get people excited about Boost Mobile's new nationwide 5G network, we're offering unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month.
Forever.
Even if you have a baby.
Even if your baby has a baby.
Even if you grow old and wrinkly and you start repeating yourself.
Even if you start repeating yourself.
Even if you're on your deathbed and you need to make one last call.
Or text.
Right, or text the long-lost son you abandoned at birth.
You'll still get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile.
Forever!
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Forever!
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips, now with 3 times greater scent control, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing, which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs.
Picking up! Oscar!
So you may have heard of Project 2025, a plan crafted by Trump and his MAGA loyalists to give Trump virtually unchecked political power and take Black America backwards. Here's how. Project 2025 strips away our voting rights protections, and it eliminates the Department of Education. It would siphon public school funding to private schools, leaving our kids behind. Planning on going to college? Good luck paying for it. Project 2025 cuts funding for federal student loans. Trump's Project 2025 would also make states monitor women's pregnancies, and it bans abortion. Project 2025 would also gut Obamacare, ripping away health care from millions. Simply put, Trump's Project 2025 would be devastating to Black America. But we can stop it by voting for Kamala Harris for president, because we are not going back.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for president.
Tickets for the 24th Annual Freedom Fund Dinner are now available. And this year, we're all in and ready to celebrate the 100th anniversary of your Milwaukee NAACP. The dinner will be held Friday, October 18th at the Baird Center, 400 West Kilbourne Avenue. Social hour at 5 p.m., dinner at 6:30 p.m. So join us as our guest speaker will be the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries, the United States.
Insist on trying to cast himself as some type of, hero, martyr, big bad, brave, fight, image. And so one of the things he said, and it's just too much. He told or said on some posts, if you quote, you may never see me again, talking about him going to Springfield. You may never see me again, but that's okay. Got to do what I got to do. Whatever happened to Trump? Well, he never got out of Springfield. That's what this idiot said. So who gonna keep you from getting out of Springfield? What is it that you gotta do as you walk around with more security than any other person on earth, or at least in this country, aside from the president and the vice president of the United States. What, like literally, you have more security than every other American in this country. And you're talking about, I got to do what I got to do. I might not make it out. This dude is so much a clown. But you got folks that love it. And I guess some of those folks would include the Teamsters. By now, many of you have heard that the International Brotherhood of Teamsters is not going to make an endorsement in the presidential election coming up in November. That after 30 years of making an endorsement in the presidential elections, they have decided that once Joe Biden got out of the race, they did what they said was an electronic member poll. And in that electronic member poll, 60% of the Teamsters supported Donald Trump of their membership. 34% supported Kamala Harris. And 6% supported other candidates. You may remember that the president of the Teamsters actually spoke at the Republican National Convention, but did not appear at the Democratic National Convention 1 month later. So that in and of itself was interesting to me. I heard some folks talking, and one of the things that they said, and let me be clear, because the Teamsters, they represent truck drivers, freight workers. The way I'm, seeing it described, the last major labor union to announce a presidential endorsement, they have been the only union that has not endorsed Kamala Harris. The other major labor organizations, AFT, American Federation of Teachers, and the United Auto Workers, UAW, they've all backed Kamala Harris. The last time the Teamsters sat out a presidential election was 1996, and it has endorsed Democratic nominees in the last 6 elections, including Trump's opponent, Hillary Clinton, back in 2016, and Biden in 2020. So you think about that. The Teamsters have endorsed Democrats in the last 6 presidential elections. In the past 30 years, they have weighed in and they have found that Democrats were more in line with the values, mission, the protections of their workers. Okay. So all of a sudden, this year, no endorsement. And as people try to weigh and figure out, the impact, how many members are we talking? And let me see if I can pull up that number about how many members are in the Teamsters. Because if we get that, and I don't know how many of their members actually weighed in, but, we can come up with a ballpark of about how many people we're talking about. But this is the thing that blows me away. And when you look at who a lot of their membership is comprised of, this is definitely a predominantly white male labor union. Not necessarily, they backed Hillary. Somebody said, who did they back when Hillary ran? They backed Democrats for the past 6 presidential elections since 1996. They've backed Democrats, including Obama, including Biden, including Hillary Clinton. Now, all of a sudden, we get to Kamala Harris, and the statement that comes out from the union leadership is that neither major candidate was able to make serious commitments to our union to ensure the interests of working people are always put before big business. And this was what the guy who came to the RNC, the Teamsters president, Sean O'Brien, said in his statement, Sean O'Brien is full of BS. Again, if you are trying to get the best situation for your union, how do you go to the RNC and speak and not go to the DNC? How does that happen? And policy-wise, if you listen to everything Kamala Harris is saying out on the campaign trail, it all aligns. It all aligns. Working on behalf of working class people, trying to move the needle for the middle class. They talk about the middle class more than they talk about the low income people, trying to make sure people can have affordable housing and wages, and like healthcare. Like they on some nonsense. And this is the thing that I tell people, it's a lot of time people vote against their own interest, and you got to ask why, and you realize that racism, supremacy, white supremacy, that these things sometimes can be bigger. But on one hand, you go, well, Michelle, they voted for Barack Obama. So they voted for Hillary Clinton. So I can't say sexism, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I could say racism fully. I don't know. But how do you explain it? How do you explain that she is a part of the administration that has shown up for the unions and worked on their behalf this entire last 3.5 years? She is a part of that team. If you look at the platform, so this business about can't, put the interests of working people before big business. Kamala Harris is not like some, elitist, come from a billionaire family or, uber wealthy family situation. Her parents are working class people. Kamala Harris is a working class person. But your membership identifies with the billionaire. Caller, I'll be right there. Your membership identifies with the billionaire or the fake billionaire, because don't nobody know how much money this broke man really got. And these fake inflated shares of True Social and all that nonsense. But this is who they identify with. The man who is known for cheating workers, for not paying people after they have performed services when he had his different properties. The man who is known for scamming working class people who wanted to get an education to better themselves with fake Trump University. Like, what is it that the 60% of the Teamsters saw in Donald Trump that aligned with the values of working class people? The man who is supposed to be giving money to charity and spending it on himself. What's wrong? Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, Michelle.
Good morning.
Good morning to you and Debo and Carvey. I get them mixed up.
That's all right.
But I'm looking at here on a site called Media, MEDIA, and then in small letters ITE, Mediaite. And there's a dissension within the Teamsters because the Teamsters groups in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Nevada have endorsed Harris. And they represent 245,000 Teamsters. And the president, Kevin Moore, wrote, the Harris Wealth Tickets offers a comprehensive vision for America, one that not only prioritizes economic fairness, but also stands steadfastly by our nation's workers. Their record and future plans are exactly what our country needs to continue growing and prospering.
Wait, who wrote that?
Kevin Moore. I think he's the Michigan Teamsters president.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say international president is Sean O'Brien. So
what
this
you're
is
seeing was
okay.
When that national president did that, by going to the RNC and then not openly endorsing Kamala, That was his backdoor way of saying we're going to endorse Trump. And these locals, they realize that, so they've broken off, and I think more of them are going to break off as this goes on.
Well, you know what? And thank you for pointing that out. And I actually went to the site. I pulled it up. So I'm going to continue to look at the story. Thank you for flagging it, because I definitely was trying to figure out, and I'm, just hadn't looked it up yet, how many members they represented. But you realize that this was union leadership carrying out their own individual, and I'm talking about nationally, carrying out their own personal agenda.
That's
because
right.
You can't say, I'm here to get the best deal from whoever is willing to deal with us, and then tell me, because they just met with Kamala Harris on Monday. They just met with her on Monday. Sean O'Brien did. So thank you for pointing that out. I'm glad to understand that there are individual states that are paying attention and saying, no, that's not what we were doing. That's not, what we were interested in doing. Thank you for flagging that.
Okay, have a good one.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. I mean, it's some of the stuff that I say all the time, and people don't appreciate that if people don't get a handle on their unions, and there have been unions that have union leadership that have strayed away from what members wanted for a long time. I do believe there's a contingency, obviously, of Trump supporters, because when I think about some of the professions that they represent, and I talk about all the time that my brother's a truck driver, and I listen to talk radio on, Sirius XM and national outlets, and you hear the comments that come in from a lot of these white male truckers, and you understand we got some issues in this country. I'm not saying all of them. I said a lot of them. So I do think that there is some validity to, and depending on, because like what Teamsters in Michigan is saying versus Teamsters in Georgia or Alabama or Tennessee or Mississippi can be very, very different. Because if there was enough pushback, there's no way Sean O'Brien could get away with this. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? All right. So I don't know how this, lands within the organization, but I have watched, I have paid attention to, I've said this, and every time I get an opportunity, I say something crazy about MTEA here in Wisconsin. I say something crazy about the way these organizations are run, because I tell people, to that point of that mural that Ihsan had up, talking about Palestine, don't become what you don't like. Don't become the thing that you were formed to fight against. And in so many of these situations, some of these groups are becoming just like the people that they organized to fight. So you got union leadership deciding who'll get an interview in terms of political candidates, who won't. They don't let people fairly compete for an endorsement. They come to the table. MTEA, a lot of their members that sit on interview committees, like, there have been candidates who talk about, you can see the disdain that their members have for people before they ever say hello. They understand when they even walk in the door that they're not going to get that endorsement. And I say all the time, but if you treated a member of these unions like that in the workplace, they'll be crying and screaming. They'll want to go to court and arbitration and sue you and because you're not being fair to our members. But many of these unions are not fair to people and candidates every day. Locally here in Wisconsin, MTEA is one of the biggest abusers of that. The way they run that mess is ridiculous. Candidates can't sometimes even get an interview. Won't even give you one because we're sticking with the incumbent. That's BS. The incumbent has a 70% approval rating. I don't care. People are applying for a job. You are supposed to be an organization of workers. Let people apply. But what do? You keep people out of the process. And then your members sit on the panel and act stank with people and ask them questions that don't have nothing to do with them running for the job. And it's people that pay attention to this. And I got some other people weighing in, talking about some other unions here in the city, and they are no different. And I just keep trying to figure out, how did we get away from the mission? But power corrupts. It really does. If you are not of a certain ilk and stability, power will take you out of this game. Getting a big head and thinking you are above the law, i.e. Donald Trump. Power is something else. And so I'm not surprised by the Teamsters, because that visit to the RNC sent a message loud and clear to people about what was going on. But at some point, people have to start rising up. At some point. Because one of the things that I even used to say, moving in some of these political circles, on the Democratic side of the aisle, you would hear all the time, you need to work with a union shop to get your printing done. You need to work with a union shop to get your printing done. That union labor bug needs to be on your printing. But some of the dirty secrets was a lot of these shops weren't Democrats. They weren't really union shops because they didn't really have employees. They had family members working there. So that whole fair wage concept and blah, 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 people just did what they did to get the Democrats' business. Because Republicans don't care about using a union shop. To the point about which party cares about labor. Republicans don't care. There is no requirement that a union labor bug be on Republican literature. They don't care about using no union shop. That's a Democrat Party thing. Make sure you use a union shop. But then when you start paying attention and you start having conversations with some of these printers, these is Republicans that are gaming the system. And people are giving money to a, quote, union shop that is composed primarily of Republicans. Don't become what you don't like. There are many of us that are not surprised. Many of us. All right. Before I deal with some other stuff, let me come back home for a minute, because there's something that I want you guys to know about. It's happening today. So there is this program that the city of Milwaukee has called the Alert Neighbor Program. And they are having an informational meeting today at 5:30 down at City Hall about this program. They've said that the meeting will provide valuable information on how to apply for the Alert Neighbor Program when applications open, which is going to happen soon. Now, this program, which was created by Alderwoman Coggs and Alderman Stamper, is an initiative that aims to reduce crime and improve safety in Milwaukee with a block-by-block approach by promoting collaboration among residents, city officials, and other partners. The program provides funding for safety improvements such as cameras, lighting, and signage in neighborhoods that have organized groups of residents committed to addressing crime and safety issues in their area. In reading from the press release, quote, the Alert Neighbor Program was born out of the idea that safe neighborhoods are ones in which neighbors collaborate together with public safety and other partners in a truly community-led and driven approach, said Alderwoman Cox and Alderman Stamper. We would encourage all those interested to attend tomorrow's meeting to learn more about the program and what is needed to apply. So for all of the people that talk about we need better lighting in our neighborhood, we need different kind of signage in terms of traffic patterns, maybe we need some additional stop signs to stop some of this speeding in our area for people that's willing to slow down for a stop sign or stop for a stop sign. Whatever it is, we need some cameras that are placed around the neighborhood to be able to capture certain things that are happening. This is and I bring this program up because it's a highly successful program, and a lot of community neighborhoods organizations seek these dollars. It's a competitive situation, so the fact that you got an opportunity to get in before the application process opens, learn what you need to do, understand how to fill out your application or what's required. Please take advantage of this. So this meeting again is happening tonight at 5:30 p.m. at City Hall, 200 East Wells Street. The Alert Neighbor Program. Funding for residents. And so interested residents, community groups, block club groups, all these people are invited to attend. Please take advantage of this informational meeting and think about what it is that your particular community needs. And if you have a neighborhood association, a block club, send a representative to that meeting to get information so that you can hopefully be in the loop to be able to receive a grant to have some of this work done, or funding, however this whole process works, but to have some dollars to help improve the quality and the safety of your neighborhood. All right, let me take a quick break. Michelle Bryant, WNOV 8. Hang on one second. Oh, okay. Somebody was telling me something about how many cameras and that kind of thing. So let me take a break. Michelle Bryant, WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. We'll be right back. And say something real here at WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM. So just as I suspected, I've now started getting text messages asking for more information about the program. This is why I'm telling y'all to go to the meeting tonight or send a representative if you can at 5:30. It would be great if this would have been also done virtually. And it may be, I don't know. So you might want to reach out to either Alderwoman Malele Coggs or Alderman Russell Stamper's office for information. That number for Alderwoman Coggs, 414-286-2994. For Alderman Stamper, 286-2659. I did go and pull up information from 2023 when this was being reintroduced. One of the things that they said is it started as a pilot program, just a few city neighborhoods. The city decided to expand it or there was a decision made to expand it to the entire city. There was funding last year budgeted for this for about $300,000. And the program, which started in 2021, had 15 groups in that first cohort, 25 groups in 2022. Not sure how many groups they did in 2023, but that lets you know kind of like budgetarily. I can't imagine it'll be much more than 300,000, but we'll see how many neighborhood groups were able to receive assistance. Somewhere in the ballpark of, at least in 2022, 25 groups, neighborhood groups. They have said, from what I looked at for program requirements, there is a funding match, which is a contribution of $20 per resident to be able to help fund the lighting, the cameras, and the other equipment. That there also was something in here that said, look, if you don't already have a neighborhood group, a block club, you can form one to be able to apply. So you don't have to have an existing organization. At least you didn't when I was looking at it from 2023 to be able to go after these dollars. So again, and groups can reapply if they are not accepted. That was from last year. You didn't get accepted. Please try again this year. So that's all I know. Go to the meeting, see if you can do it. Okay. Somebody, you know what? I have had some people. Are kids still in school? I mean, on their way to school? It's almost 8:00. Okay. There has been a request, and I've gotten 3 to play the song by the artist Yellow Pain that talked about the voting piece. So, yep. So I'm going to do that. I guess I got a couple young people that parents want to hear this. Can we pull that up, Debo? All right. So while Debo is doing that, when we get done with that piece, I got to talk about the fact that illegal dumping cost the city of Milwaukee roughly about $1 million, a little over $1 million every year. And they're talking about whether or not installing cameras can help with that. So that's a story that's in the Journal Sentinel this morning. Give me a minute. Let's honor that commitment because I told people I would do this. So I'm going to honor that and get that played. And then when we come back, we'll be able to have some conversation about this foolishness of folks dropping their trash. It should be like a 3-minute and 49-second version. Okay. And he has that jacket. Yeah, that's it. How long is that one? Okay, that's good. Oh, I don't remember her. No, that's different. That's different. No. Hang on one second. Give me 1 second, y'all. We pulling it up real quick. Let me do it this way. 1 second, family. We are just pulling up this video to honor what I said I would do. So it is Yellow Pain. This one was Yellow Pain, My Vote Doesn't Count, I think is what it was called. Hang on, let me see. My vote. Oh, it may be. Yeah, my vote will count. No, it's yellow pane. My vote don't count. That's the one. Because he made a second one. And I'll have to play that one too. That's it. Yep. 349. Okay. All right. All right, family. Here you go. As soon as we do the ads on YouTube and take care of that. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. No, I've been asked to make sure because they want to make sure young people are hearing this. Go to the one that say 349. Dude. Okay. Yeah. Start there. All right.
Enough electoral votes, more than 270, more than enough to become the 44th president of the United States. He will be the first African-American president of the United States.
I've been broke all my life, but I kept hope all them nights. You see business in my city? Yeah, they closed all them twice. I was just riding down Salem, all them damn potholes. I can't drive. I know y'all can fix it faster, but I know y'all won't try. Don't nobody care about us. And that's wrong vote. Voted for Obama back in 2012. I remember that's when I had hope. He was saying, yes, we can. And everybody got less food stamps. And when I turned 21, I was still broke. I'd never vote again. I don't think I ever had a president make my life better. Did it all on my own. Ain't no politician ever do a nice gesture. I don't even know the man's name. I ain't never seen her one time ever. Tell me how she gonna help the city. When I'm supposed to do write letters. When I'm supposed to do blame Trump. He ain't never really gave a ain't nobody raised minimum wage. None of these jobs pay enough. I think they just want to keep us broke, cause they ain't putting none in place for us. This how all my people feel, but we gotta learn. We complained enough. Let me change it up. Everything I just said, everybody I know think the same way. See, they don't want to see us vote, and we never do, so we see the same thing. But all our votes really do count, and they'll never really let it show. So now I'm finna break it down, cause if I don't, you will probably never know. First thing first, you know back in middle school when they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president. Now none of them 3 people make no laws. They just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws. They the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't want to tell you this, they want you to focus on the president. Now the third branch is the judicial, that's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon ain't had justice. So when Meek Mill got locked up just for popping willies, we blame the judge and not the city when they let her get voted in, cause they ain't know who to vote against. Imagine life on the other side. Roads better, schools better, everybody get their license back, grocery store food better, custody of your kids back, homeless people get new shelters. If we gon' fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters, me and you. Somebody told us that the government wanna keep us broke, but the only reason why those people in the government is cause we ain't vote. And I ain't talking about the president, I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. See, they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when they see the pros.
Every time you stay home, someone is making a decision about you, making decisions about the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food your kids eat, and how much money you bring home every 2 weeks. So every time you sit out an election, every time you don't show up because you think it doesn't matter, someone else is happy that you didn't show up, so they can make that decision for you. Vote.
All right, family. So there are a number of people that have had an opportunity to hear that piece. This was actually done like 4 years ago. And I just so appreciated that there was a young brother that was, civically inclined, thinking about what was needed, how to message, how to reach everybody. This is that piece for me when I talk about you got to do different strategies and different approaches to reach different demographics. But the information was so useful and the way it was done was so good. We actually used this at an event we had about a week or so ago. And I had, older people, grandparents even walk up to me and say, this is so good. I've never seen this before. And I'm showing this to my grandkids. How do I find it? And the reaction has been the same from listeners here at the station. So there have been, requests that we play it so that we are capturing certain, because we have some younger folks that listen when they're going back and forth to school, moving around, when they're getting picked up in the afternoon. So we've been asked to play it. And I'm sorry, if it moves the needle, if it helps us, if it helps to educate people and change the perception and opinion that some young people have about voting, I'm all in. I am there for it. So I wanted to make sure we honored that this morning. So before we brought the song up, one of the things, just staying local again for a minute, that I had to talk about, the frustration that so many people have with illegal dumping that's going on here in the city of Milwaukee. First of all, I just don't understand how people can be so nasty. Like, Lord knows. When you got people that are getting, in some cases, paid to clean out apartments, clean up abandoned houses, abandoned lots, somebody is paying you to clean that because they don't want to look at the debris, because it's nasty. It breeds, rodents and all kinds of, healthy, health challenging types of animals. Like, it's just nasty. And so in some cases, somebody paid you to remove that, but then you didn't want to pay the city of Milwaukee to go dump it. And so you in turn turn around and just leave it in somebody's neighborhood, or leave it in some dead end street. Like I said, on previous conversations, I know over by the old Webster Middle School, that dead end street over there, you could go over there and see all kinds of foolishness, couches, mattresses thrown over in that area. I know there's a spot over by Vincent High School that we have seen TVs and, furniture thrown on that little side road on the side of Vincent High School. And you can do the Wong's Walk that, never really got a shot and goes out of business, closes down in the cut over there, people discarding trash, debris. We saw the sad story about the elderly couple who had a construction company dump a bunch of stuff in their yard, and people are, and it's a rental property, people responsible for cleaning that up. So what the people did over at the Department of Neighborhood Services on yesterday, they announced that the agency is going to place 6 cameras on city-owned properties and giving neighborhood groups additional cameras for free to collect evidence against illegal dumpers. I'm going to say that again, because this for me is a thank you, Jesus moment. It may not be enough, because I know people will be like, well, that's not enough. It's a start. It is a start. The idea that there will be 6 city-owned properties now with cameras on them, and then giving neighborhood groups, so Sherman Park Neighborhood Community Association, Harambe, all these different groups that have these neighborhood groups, additional cameras for free to collect evidence against illegal dumping. Now, they say that this costs the city about $1.2 million annually to clean up. And one of the things I've wondered is, how much would it cost the city just to allow people to come dump? Like, because we went to a system where before people, I don't know if they paid or how much they had to pay. Because I know as a resident, just with, just a car or something, I could go dump stuff, but I didn't know what commercial people had to pay. And so I've often wondered, what does it cost to just let people take the mess to the city dump? Does it amount to about $1.2 million? Because if it does, then that's a break. That's a break even.
You would assume, though, that it would be cheaper than having to, because what I've seen them do, they typically dump in my alley all the time, and they subcontract that out to other people. I guess they don't have enough city employees to actually do it. So there are contractors who make money just by taking those city contracts and go and clean up lots. So it's got to be cheaper to just let me come and dump it legally than to pay somebody to have to come and get it illegally.
Or reduce the fee.
Right.
So like you still need to make some money off of it. Reduce it. Somebody said they charge you by the cubic feet. Reduce the fee. But I would love to see the data that talks about what it would cost us. What did it cost us previously just to allow people to come and dump? Because it makes me think of a situation they got going on in New York right now with Eric Adams and what he did, which I think is so crazy. In the city of let me get this caller before I bring New York into the conversation. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Wonderful. Good morning. It sounds like the city needs to come in or call and talk about this mess, because there was illegal dumping right where I live, not too far from the station. And the city inspector came out and told me it was on my property, which it was not. My alderwoman Cogs took care of the situation. But this inspector told me, even if you have a camera, good luck taking it to court. That tells me it's not going to stand up in court. So why waste my time?
Wait a minute. Why would somebody say that? Good luck. I mean, people use cameras every day to get, criminals convicted of committing other crimes.
He knows because he's an inspector, I'm sure, and he has seen things like this. And to me, it's allowed to go on, because people they know people that know people, and they're allowed to do this kind of stuff. And the inspector told me, make sure you do not go out there and confront these people, because they may come back at you with something else that you don't want anything to do with. Pretty much telling me to be careful, don't confront them and all of that. So what is a homeowner supposed to do? What are we supposed to do in the city when we pay taxes? Let me be late a day on my taxes. And you have a wonderful show. Have them come in. And if they're too lazy to come in, they can call. I love your show. I'm going to hang up and listen.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate it. And, this is one thing that I continuously say. When you have, conversations like this, these are things I don't understand why people don't make 5 minutes to call in and say, hey, let me get in sometime this week to talk about this issue, what we're trying to do to address it, I'm tired of asking people. Like, at this point, I gotta be honest. I'm tired of asking people, because these your constituents you need to communicate with. Is some people are effective and they choose to figure out every way they can to communicate, and other people, if it don't get done with a press release or a press conference, I don't know. I can't with these people. But anyway, one of the things that the article talked about was that there was a proposal made back in May after the Journal Sentinel wrote a story about a city hired contractor, to the point that some people said leaving construction waste at Boycher Field and in the neighborhood. And I think that was that homeowner who ended up having to come out and deal with that. The city cleaned up the debris and issued the contractor a $1,953 fine. They proposed the anti-dumping committee, but it has still not been created, according to the Journal Sentinel. The thing that is frustrating for me is that this typically impacts, and they talk about it in the story, low, moderate income neighborhoods, primarily communities of color, where this foolishness is happening. And you got Black folks dumping in our neighborhood, and you got white folks dumping in our neighborhood. It's ridiculous, because nobody wants to come out of their home or walk down a block or turn the corner in their neighborhood and see this abandoned furniture and waste and garbage. It's ridiculous. The article goes on to say that more than a year ago, the Havenwoods Neighborhood Park, the Neighborhood Partnership, Riverworks Development Corporation, Safe and Sound, VIA, and 16 other community organizations began collaborating to find solutions for illegal dumping. Each organization Okay, I don't want to say that part. So far this year, the street keepers have collected 1,300 bags of trash and 177 tires, said Jatan Taylor, Havenwood's Community Engagement and Safety Director. Riverworks has removed 70,000 cubic yards of debris from city-owned properties since 2013. According to Riverworks Clean's business manager, the equivalent of about 5,000 dump trucks of waste. Oh my God. Now, to the point that this caller just made, and caller, I see you, I'm coming. People can receive up to $1,000 for reporting illegal dumpers to the city. Rooted and Rising was awarded $1,000 from the city for catching a person who wrongfully dumped on their property. The organization's cameras caught the vehicle, its business name, and license plate. The video was all the evidence the city needed in its court case. Okay, so that's that one part to that last caller's, comment. But some say reporting illegal dumping is a challenging process. The city requires a description of the vehicle, plate number, and photos or video of the person doing the dumping. Some people are intimidated by the process. You have to give your personal information. A lot of people don't want to do that because they don't want folks to retaliate against them, is what one person was saying. And Taylor from the Havenwoods group agreed some people may be concerned about retaliation. Recently, a block watcher confronted two men in a U-Haul truck illegally dumping in Havenwoods, and one of the men flashed a gun at the person who had confronted them. Okay. A community organizer with Lindsay Heights said reporting illegal dumping on the MKE mobile action app used to be easier. He said the city changed the app's layout this year and it made it difficult to submit illegal dumping complaints. The app was crucial. So I didn't even know there was an app. Like, how did I miss this? It's not easy to do anymore. They're saying that they hope the city's new cameras will help, and the city has said those that are caught can face up to a fine of $5,000. And I'm trying to figure out why the other people didn't get a $5,000 fine, but that's just me. So let's go to the phone line. Oh, wait, here's one other thing I think people may be interested in. North Avenue Community Advocates Safe and Sound North Avenue Fond du Lac are hosting a neighborhood cleanup at the intersection of North 15th and North Avenue and Lindsay Heights on September 28th at 9 a.m. So, people are taking this into their own hands because this is such an issue in our community. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hi, I want to share something with you because I've been through the same problem. I took it and I appealed it and everything. There are cameras in some of the alleys. There happens to be one in my alley. The problem is the people, when you appeal, the chair of the appeals committee, they could have access to that information, but they don't let you know about it, and it's hard to find out. If they can see you do something in your side, they can see who put it there in the beginning. But see, that's what the problem is: getting them to allow you to see what they see from the very beginning. They got the information, but see, some of these people, they want you to lose your property so that they can give it to somebody else. See, the whole thing is not accidental, and the problem is the police, they know about it. The people on the appeals position. In fact, in this particular case, it's Attorney Bobbitt, and I'll mention his name because I'm challenging him from something else. They are out to the appeals group, the City of Milwaukee, Department of Neighborhood Service, the enforcement area. What they want to do is they want the people from the community to pay for all their bills. They're asking. That's why Milwaukee has always been a small mentality when it comes to finance. And people from the big corporate companies or states saw an opportunity. These people don't know anything about to handle their money. So let's go rip them off. And if you look at every entity in the city of Milwaukee, the school board, is one of them, a big one. But there's so many of them. I can make money off of Milwaukee. The county park. We have not been learned how to really negotiate and challenge it because we have small-minded thinking people making decisions. And that's where we have the problem. So even if you get the camera, you got to get the police will not do anything to let you know about it because they know who's doing it. Because they can look at the cameras anytime they want. And when it comes to appealing it, we used to never have to pay for appealing until black folks started getting involved in the appealing. Then they started charging $25 for appeal. But I learned how to get around a lot of that junk. So I just wanted to share this with you because it doesn't matter if you put all that camera, all you do is waste putting money up, which is good to have it. But unless you have a system that forces the police to allow the people and the community and the people on the appeals to view it all at the same time. Because if they can view what one individual does here and what individual does that, they can view who did it from the very beginning. I just wanted to share that with you.
All right.
Have a blessed day.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's good to hear from you, Miss Rose. A number of people are like, is that Miss Rose? Yes, it's good. And somebody said Miss Rose is correct. Our tax dollars should be paying for all of that without I didn't understand the last part of it, without it rising. Let me go to another caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing?
Good. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. So I know one of the reasons why the city changed that on Industrial Road where you have to pay, they had a lot of suburban contractors or they were doing work outside of the city coming and using that dump site for free. The only thing they require is a City of Milwaukee ID, and that's the only people that should be dumping at that site. But
right.
A lot of suburban contractors were taking advantage of that and bringing their stuff down from the suburbs and using that. And one other thing, that Milwaukee mobile app, that app is the truth. So the other night, it was about 12 a.m. I went on that app to report some potholes in my alley. And by 9 o'clock that morning, the fellows from the city was outside filling those potholes. So I want to give a pat on the back to those city workers because they got right on it. I reported it at 12 a.m. and by 9 o'clock that morning, I looked on my camera and they was back there in the alley filling those potholes up. So if you ain't got that app, you might want to download it. It really works.
Say the name of the app again, bro.
Milwaukee's, it is called the...
Because I got it. I can pull it up too.
Yeah, MKE Mobile Action App.
Yeah, MKE Mobile Action App. All
yeah,
right.
That app is the truth. That really
He
works.
said it's the truth, my man.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that. And I do believe in giving credit when credit is due. So thank you for doing that. And I'm sure as people appreciate that you said that. All right, we got another caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Crew. Michelle, we have some dumping like on 24th Place. Isn't one? It's like a duplex across the street. I'm on 25th, and I think there's 24th Place across the street and behind my neighbor. And so we have a lot of cats over here, but the big thing that we have is an infestation of raccoons. I know because one got stuck on my porch through the rails and we couldn't get him out. Called every place we could find to come and help us. The city, we called the city, they said we don't deal with that on weekends or whatever. Well, when he died, you can imagine what I went through. My husband, he had to go buy a hazmat suit and all that other stuff, and to try to get this thing off my porch. So he blew up.
Lord, okay.
That was on Saturday, and the smell. Oh my God. So we had to come up with all kinds of concoctions to get the flies and all that crap away from us and him. Bleach. There's nothing like bleach. So I called before we did anything, we called everywhere we could to see if we can get the raccoon removed because he was trying to get on the porch to get whatever he's going to get, but he got stuck. This is the third raccoon that has been in the area of 25th Street because my neighbor had just removed one out of her backyard dead. I called the city. I spoke to them. I called the DNR agency and I explained to them. And all they could tell me was, well, you have to pay for some traps and you have to pay for a private agency, $396 to remove the raccoons from the properties, your property.
Say that part again.
They told me that if I need to have them come out, and not the city, but the private agencies, to remove the raccoons off of your property, whether they're dead or alive, it's $396, and I'm on a fixed income. And I don't have that kind of money, so we have to go out and buy a hazmat suit. He bought a hazmat suit at Menards. They have them. I had to cut up my porch to get him out because, like I said, he blew it up. And where do we put the animal? Take a guess. And that's all we could do. We couldn't put him anywhere else, but we boxed him up real well. We didn't want anybody to get contaminated. And they keep coming. It's an infestation. Between 25th and 26th, I contacted the city and the DNR, and I told them that, and it's like, so what? So I don't know what else to do, and I just wanted to put it on your radar and let you all know between here and your radio station, they're coming off the highway, and they are all over the place in my area.
Okay. All right. Let me do some asking around and figure out if there's anything else that's available to people. And I got people that are texting me right now with similar situations. Let me do some digging and see what I can find out. Okay.
And I did call my alderman, by the way, too.
Okay.
I'm going to call him back again this morning, too.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, baby. It shouldn't be all on the radio station. We got to call our aldermen. Call them out. That's what they get paid for.
Debo said, who is your alder person?
It is the District 7. I don't know. It was Keith Randy, but I
it's the isn't his Daryl Jackson? Yeah.
Is he pretty cool? Because I couldn't get through.
I wouldn't know, because when he ran for office, he never came this way. He's never come this way since he's been elected. So I don't know nothing about him.
Well, I'll tell you this: if you can get a message to him, he will be hearing from me. I haven't met him, haven't seen him, and I know I've been in my home since 1968, and I'm a staple there. And any older person who has been in that area has certainly reached out to me. In fact, I know Wade told Rainey, you need to holler at Debo. So nobody didn't get him the message, I guess, because I got some issues and I haven't seen him.
DeAndre Jackson.
Too.
Yeah. We're gonna get him over there.
Yeah. No, like I said.
I will say this and I'll get off.
But he busy because he got a whole bunch of committee assignments.
Yeah.
That's why he can't call y'all, because he's super busy.
Because he got
because he's brand new and got more committee assignments than Andrea Pratt, because he's super.
He won't have the automatic position to be on a committee.
He's the chair of Judiciary and Legislation Committee because he's so busy. That's why he ain't met y'all yet. Don't make me talk about these people. Thank you, caller. I appreciate it.
Michelle, one thing. There's one good alderman I gotta mention, and that's Alderman Butler. I don't know if he's still around, but that man came to my home.
George Butler.
Is he still living?
I don't know. I think somebody told me he had moved out of the state, though.
Oh my God, that man was he came to my home every time I had a problem.
I
think George Butler replaced Michael McGee, and then George Butler came in, and then what was the lady name?
Okay,
all right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Her and her daughter got caught buying the houses from the city. What was her name?
Oh, Rosa. No,
Rosa Cameron.
Was
Robbins.
it Rosa Cameron? Yeah.
She was my older person too. My Lord, boy, we had some humdingers come through there.
I was just saying, like I swear.
And Rosa was cool though, but she,
people just get caught up. They get caught up. They do dumb stuff, People mad at me because I question why the hell you would be asking somebody to give you a $10,000 raise. This probably is the highest paying job you ever had, and you want $10,000 more. But like, you already make more than every other elected official, in the state, except for the lieutenant governor and the like the leadership roles. But anyway, I'm not gonna get started. I'm not gonna get started.
Is it really a full-time job?
I would tell anybody I believe it's a full-time job. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing,
If
it's a full-time job.
The operative word.
Because you think about how many residents are in one aldermanic district.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would tell people at the state level, a assembly district has like about 57,000 people in an assembly district. A senate district is 3 times that. So you got about 150,000 people.
Was it intended to be a full-time job?
So, while they say yes, it was. I don't think it was intended to be a full-time job, even though you get benefits, you get. But like I said, the pay is $57,000. So Lena and Lakeisha made the same amount of money, even though Lena had 3 times the work that Lakeisha had, because Lena had 3 assembly districts inside her district. And the only thing that they would give Lena in addition was extra staff. But that doesn't account for the fact that a lot of these people, they don't want to see the staff. When they want you to come speak at a graduation, come to a meeting, they want the legislator. And if you don't have an effective chief of staff representing you that's going to come in the district and going to go to these meetings for you, and most of these people, their staff live in Madison. They don't live in Milwaukee. So Lena would have to go to all of that, but you're still making the same money. And so most legislators, if they were not married, they had another full-time job, or they had other work or another source of income, because I'm sorry, $57,000 and you trying to own a home and do everything you need to do, possibly take care of children, it's not a lot of money. Right. So but people get upset with you. They get hot. But man, ain't nobody seen DeAndre Jackson. Well, nothing about him.
Phone lines are lit up.
I see him. Let's go. Hey, somebody said I emailed DeAndre Jackson, and he responded within 24 hours. He took care of the problem. I initially called him and did not get an answer. I did not leave a voicemail. So they said that he did respond. So to, this caller's point, and like I said, I ain't that way. I will tell, every side of the story. I 100% believe in that. I still don't believe he should be the chair of nobody's committee. He just got there, and I don't believe he should have more committees assignments than Alderwoman Pratt, but that's just me talking. Let's go to the phone line.
I believe he need to knock on some doors, and one of them should be mine.
Let's go to the phones. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Is that me?
Yes.
Well, Michelle and Mr. Debo, let me tell you what you do. We had this problem last year.
What problem?
We're in Lindsay Heights. And
wait, which problem did you have?
With the raccoon.
Okay.
So there was a person, I can't remember his name, but he had a raccoon business. And my husband kept saying, because the garage, he was trapped up in the garage in the rafters. Okay. So he had ate up the garage, the wire. So we had problems with the doors. So we called the raccoon man, because my husband said, I saw his tail hanging down.
Yeah.
Okay. So the raccoon man came, put a trap in there, and put some marshmallows in there. And about 2-3 days later, he got back. But we didn't kill him. We don't kill him, just get him out the garage. He took him and released him somewhere.
Right.
But it was like $200 and some. But what you would do, I would tell people to do, because the coons over here are bad. And good thing my grandpa is dead, because he'd be in somebody's pot.
You talking about the coons or the raccoons?
The raccoons. They call them coons. Grandpa did that.
She said they'll be in the pot.
You missed
it. You'd be in the pot. Here's what you do. To save money, go to Farm and Fleet, and you get like a trap, a cage, and then you put it wherever you think the raccoons are. You put the marshmallows in there, and that's how you trap. You'll save yourself some money.
Who
Okay.
gonna release them though? That's what I want to know.
All you gotta do is, I guess, pick up the cage and then take it and open the
right.
door and let them run out.
Now, what if he decides he want
we ain't like white
But
people.
who
we don't want you to kill the coon. Just get them away from here. But the coons
But that means you got to put them in your car and drive them somewhere?
I guess he rode somewhere.
Oh, no.
Okay, so that's all I want to say.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Have people to do that kind of stuff.
But look, to that point, though, somebody said, I feel the caller's sentiments. We had raccoons in our attic last year, and the city could not do anything. We had to pay an animal removal company $1,200 later to get rid of 3 raccoons.
Wow.
$1,200. It's some people gonna go get that little cage, and because $1,200. Come on, fam. But you can't get in my car though.
Where are they coming from?
Yeah. What you mean? Where they coming from?
I
Everywhere.
mean, you know,
we got raccoons all over the place.
I know, but typically, like, you see them in the wee hours of the morning. You might see the mama, the daddy.
And then they big. When I was over off of Sherman Boulevard, I didn't realize they could mash their body down like that and go down into the sewer.
Oh yeah.
But these things look like little children. They look like toddlers. They were so. I'm telling you. Come on, nothing. These things look like little kids walking through here. Somebody said, I always get the middleman of his office. Oh, somebody talking about DeAndre. I always get the middleman of his office. All right, got another caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I wanted to respond to something you were speaking on earlier about the Teamsters.
Yes.
Years ago, this was when old Scotty was in office, Scott Walker. There was a local union I was a part of when Barack Obama was running for, not for the presidency, against John McCain. And for years since I've been a part of, we always endorsed the Democratic nominee.
Okay.
But at that particular time, they didn't endorse the Democratic nominee.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And we were really upset about it and questioned that because some of our board members were wearing John McCain hats and stuff. We couldn't figure that out,
What?
Yeah, that's when, before the union was kind of disbanded with the Act 10.
Right.
Later on. Yeah, so that really did happen, and so we kind of was saying, was it a racism thing or something like that? Because for years, unions basically support the Democratic nominee. That's why you never saw Scott Walker down at Labor Fest or anything like that, because he opposed union labor. So I just thought that was interesting when you brought that up, because that happened in the city of Milwaukee.
That happened here.
Yes.
And it's so crazy because, like you said, the city of Milwaukee, where this is an extremely diverse community, you wouldn't think that you would see that. Okay, you got me with that one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just thought that was interesting when you said that. And this thing about this one more thing about the city, and now we're going back years ago when they started charging to use that dump site. So and it was brought up about that's going to increase the illegal dumping, and we were told, oh, it's not going to be a problem. But as you see, it is a problem. And there were a lot of contractors going up there dumping their stuff. And I don't know if you recall, like they used to call them weekend boxes, where they would put the boxes out like for a neighborhood cleanup.
Yeah.
And those contractors would actually look for those boxes, and they would fill them up with shingles or all kind of things, so the city kind of got away from that. I don't know if that program is still out there, but they used to put weekend boxes like on a Friday or whatever, and they would pick them up Monday, but they would be so overloaded with stuff, more than the neighborhood would be using them. So, contractors would look for those boxes. So, but just charging those fees and everything has really, increased the problem with this illegal dumping, because it's widespread, so I mean, tires, everything. So yeah, I just wanted to make that comment.
No, I appreciate it. Good information. Right, Thank you so much. All right. So this was the question that, and the reason why I said I wanted to kind of bring New York into the fold, because you have a problem, but the solution that you come up with for the problem, does it end up making the problem worse? The brother just got off the call, said when they start talking about charging people to dump, trying to deal with the problem of suburban contractors coming into the city and dumping their crap in Milwaukee. So number one, now we penalizing our residents for something that suburban contractors are supposedly doing. That's number one, that we're actually going to penalize our own city residents to deal with stuff that's happening, that's being brought into our community. That's number one. Number two, ultimately at the end of the day, again, how do these costs compare? And the reason why I said it made me think of New York. So I have been following protest marches that have broken out in New York in relationship to a gentleman who is known to have mental health issues, who did not pay his subway fare of $2 and I think it's like 90 cents. He didn't pay the subway fare. So New York, who has, a former police officer as their mayor, and I am not a fan of Eric Adams. I just want to be clear. I'm just not. Because what Eric Adams has done as a Black male in the city of New York in relationship to cutting all kinds of social service programming, youth serving activities, like he has taken a hatchet to many critical programs that are needed in the city of New York and increased the police budget by millions of dollars. They already have one of the biggest budgets in the state. But anyway, so, people say, oh, there's crime, violent attacks, robberies. We've had some murders on the train, on the subway. And so they said, we're going to crack down on that. In addition to dealing with violent crimes, they included in this crackdown anybody that didn't pay the $2.90 to ride the train. So this brother comes through. He does not pay the $2.90. Police officers get involved and start pursuing the man. The man is running, trying to get away from him. They shot this man. And because they were shooting in the subway, they shot innocent bystanders and another police officer. One man was shot in the head who was in another train car. And now this man is looking at brain damage because you was trying to stop somebody who didn't pay $2.90 to ride the train. Now they said overall that people not paying their fare cost the city of New York roughly around $150,000 a year. Eric Adams increases the police budget by over $100 million to supposedly fight this kind of issue, along with the murders and the da-da-da. Why is not paying your bus fare, your train fare, included with the level of aggression to go after a robbery suspect or a homicide or somebody who's physically assaulted somebody? So 4 people end up getting shot. And then Eric Adams says, well, he didn't get shot because he didn't pay the fare. He got shot because he had a knife in his hand and he lunged at police. How does that result in the police shooting in another car? And innocent bystanders are now in the hospital fighting for their life because they wouldn't have been pursuing him if you didn't have a policy in place to have law enforcement chase somebody down for $2.90, and then only to find out that this man got mental health issues that are well documented. So to deal with the fare hopping, the fare evaders, and the loss of revenue of about $150,000, you spending millions of dollars And then creating a situation like this in which 4 people end up being shot, including one of your own officers. And then he stand his goofy butt up there and say, I support all of this. You support police officers firing off this amount of ammunition in a small enclosed space to the point you shooting in one car and you end up shooting somebody else in another car. And this man just sitting there minding his business gets shot in the face. Over $2.90.
Wow.
Do we make the problems worse with some of the solutions that we come up with? Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Probably, Michelle. You know he was an ex-police officer, right?
Say what?
He was an ex-police officer, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. No, I said that any Republican. I'm just going to say that for good fodder. But
Eric
yeah.
Adams is a Republican?
Yeah, he was a Republican before he ran for mayor. Yeah.
The black dude?
Yeah.
Michelle, I ain't never did that.
Yeah. Look it up.
You hooked me up on gang. Hey, I just wanted to call and take up for Jackson.
Yep.
We had a meeting with him.
Okay.
Michelle Allen. I know you know Michelle Allen.
Yes.
Michelle Allen ain't no joke. So she organized this, and it was only like maybe 6 homeowners there, but everything that we asked to do, he's done. And so I called a couple of times because there was a couple of potholes that they didn't get to. I didn't get to talk to him, but I got to talk to his guy, and it was taken care of. Now with them raccoons, he told us that he would give us some poison. But poison I didn't want to do because, like I was telling Brenda, because he was like, feed them some poison. I'm like, Brenda, if they get up under that porch stuff and they die,
right,
that's going to be a big mess. We should see the damage that they have done to our port, Michelle. Those things ain't no. And they breed so fast. I mean, one day, Mama, next you turn around, 6, 7 of them. And they're big, so I was thinking, I don't know, I was telling Brenda I should pop one of them, but I don't know if I get in trouble for charging a firearm in the city. And I think about taking my Louisville sucker, but I don't know if I want to get that close to them. Those suckers is big.
I told you about little children, little toddlers.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I could get close with my Louisville sucker. I may knock them out, but I don't know if you ever seen their claws.
What if he don't? What if he don't go out?
That's what I'm saying, Mr. Depot.
And I got time to be hitting no animal
you got a problem.
and getting blood on me. And I ain't doing all that. Let me get my $1,200 together.
Count these squirrels too. These squirrels is a nuisance too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
damage too.
Yes, I took a picture of one drinking out of our
fountain.
No, our the hydrant, like what you hook your hose up to.
Guy,
yeah,
and he just
sitting
there
getting down, drinking. What'd you say, George?
Damon had to go to the bathroom, and so there's 2 filling stations on 27th and Capitol Drive that I normally would go in there and get my lottery tickets out of. And Eamon had to use the bathroom, and the dude said, "Well, we don't have a bathroom. Take him across the street to McDonald's." I'm like, "What? As much as come up here, us black folks come up here in this place, I charge all these high prices. I'm never coming back up in here again." So I went across the street, same thing, Michelle.
Oh yeah, if you're not purchasing, if you're not a customer, McDonald's ain't letting you use their bathroom.
No,
I'm talking about the service station. I didn't go. I'm talking about the filling station.
Oh, the service station too. Yeah, no, I heard you on the service station part. I thought you said same thing when you went to McDonald's, but okay.
No, on both of them.
Okay.
So I called the alderman, and because I think Kathy put me up on this on one of the shows. They're supposed to have operating bathrooms for their customers.
The bathrooms are. The gas stations are.
And so I called the alderman. I talked to his guy. He called me back. They went and investigated, and he called me back and said, "You're right, lost. We're calling who said they were calling." And I have followed up with him since then, but they were talking about some follow up and see what's going on with.
George,
like,
let me share this with you.
shop.
I'm glad your endeavor or encounter went well. I have a text message from a very well known constituent here in the city who is involved in all kinds of different things, and she spoke about a monthly meeting that takes place that Mr. Jackson has not shown up to, has not moved into the district. That concerns me if that to be true, that he has won and has not moved into the district. That's certainly an issue.
But that was Daryl Jackson. That was school
she said
board.
DeAndre Jackson.
But I wonder is she confusing it, because I had never heard that DeAndre didn't live in the district. It was Daryl Jackson of the Milwaukee Public School Board who there was a question about whether or not he lived in the district.
Well, like I said, Michelle ain't no joke, and she'll get stuff done.
All right, I'm gonna reach out since he hasn't reached out.
And just double check. Thank you, George. Appreciate the comments.
Okay, bye-bye, y'all.
All right, y'all. And let me just make sure I clean that up because I don't want to just be real raggedy because I was being raggedy because I don't like Eric Adams. He was a Republican back in the day.
Okay.
And then he switched back to the Democratic Party. So it was a Dem. Then he left the Democratic Party, went to become a Republican. And then a long time ago, he switched back to being a Democrat. But he still act like a Republican to me. But anyway, but yeah, I'm wondering if the person who hit you up, whether or not that was the MPS.
Daryl Jackson.
Yeah, Daryl Jackson. Because he still hasn't answered. I still haven't heard whether or not he lived in the district or has moved in the district. And let me just say this. So for the people that have called in to say that DeAndre Jackson, as far as their interactions has been responsive, I appreciate it. I don't want to be unfair to anybody. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to be unfair. So I appreciate that y'all called in and said, Michelle, this was my experience, to be able to counter some of the other stuff that, I've seen or I've said or other people have said. So I just want to be fair about that. All right, y'all. I gotta get out of here. Michelle Bryant. Say Something Real has come to a conclusion. I didn't get to half of my stories today, but this stuff was important. Remind people again, the meeting is tonight at 5:30 p.m. for the Alert Neighbor program. And somebody said this real quick on the dumping and the cameras and what was being proposed. And I agree with them. A lot of times, city officials will discourage you from filing complaints because it creates paperwork for people. Somebody got to do something when you start calling. I'm always filing a complaint. And whatever it takes me and whatever that road is, that's where we going. But I'm always filing complaints. All right, family. I appreciate y'all, Carvey. You feel better? No. Did you take your medicine? Anyway. Thank you, Diva.
See you this afternoon.
Nah, I'm going skiing. It's going to be 86 degrees here.
Skiing.
I'm leaving the city. I'm going to wear some snow on some mountains, and I'm going skiing. Okay. All right, family. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Say something real. There was so